is Ghost? Well, firstly, let me clarify who he's not. Ghost is not Gaz. Same voice actor, Craig Fairbrass, similar personality, same wit, and I even suspect Ghost's name is intended as a tribute to the fact that Gaz died in Modern Warfare 1, but they're not the same character. Because, as I said, Gaz died, and he is dead. There was speculation for a while that maybe Gaz survived, but no, people don't survive bullets to the head. Well, except for that guy. But I digress. Simon Riley, better known as Ghost, is the mysterious, Manchester-born, skull-clad member of Task Force 141 and the main protagonist of the spin-off graphic novel Call of Duty Ghost. Not to be confused with Call of Duty Ghosts, but more on that later. Riley had a rather traumatic upbringing. His father would frequently torment him by bringing home dangerous animals to try and scare him, even going so far as to try to force him to kiss a snake. But outside of his abusive upbringing, Riley led a simple life. He was training to be a butcher at a local grocery store, but after the September 11th attacks, he opted to join the military, and very shortly after that he was selected to join the SES due to his skill and determination. During a fairly standard mission to take down a Mexican drug dealer by the name of Manuel Roba, who was expanding to try and smuggle terrorists into the US, Riley's life would change forever. Unbeknownst to Riley and the rest of his squad, their leader, Vernon, had been previously brainwashed by Roba and was acting as a double agent. As the squad began their attack on Roba, Vernon betrayed them, leading to the 3 surviving members, Sparks, Washington, and Riley, getting captured and taken to be tortured and brainwashed. Over the course of his torture, Riley endured and maintained his fleeting sanity, barely resisting Roba's brainwashing attempts and refusing to give up any compromising intel. He also refused to kill Vernon, despite his betrayal, and instead was buried alive with the rotting corpse of Vernon, who was seen as a loose end and killed by Roba anyway. It was from this tomb that Riley made his escape. Using the jawbone of his former commander, Riley painstakingly dug his way out of the grave and eventually made his way back to Manchester and attempted to rejoin the military to continue his search for Roba. But Riley failed the mental health check as there were concerns that Roba's brainwashing may have corrupted him. Fast forward 4 months and Riley reconnects with the other 2 surviving members of his squad, Sparks and Washington, to try and relax and unwind. But although Riley was just able to resist Roba's brainwashing, his fellow squadmates were not and were actually working for Roba. They quickly betray Riley and slaughter his entire family, except from his father. Riley is framed for the murder, but stays focused on his mission. He knows his father will be killed next, so he visits him in hospital to question him about his childhood. And after getting the answers he wanted, Riley leaves. Upon his exit, he hears a gunshot echo from the hospital, confirming his father's murder. In pursuit of his revenge, Riley tracks down Washington and Sparks, immediately killing the former and capturing the latter for torture and interrogation. After making Sparks regret his crimes against Riley, he switches their dog tags, shoots Sparks, and burns down the house, continuing on his path to revenge. He eventually tracks down and captures Roba's right-hand man and tortures Roba's location out of him. And there he had it, the location of the man he'd been searching for. Riley wasted no time. He planned his assault on Roba's compound, and after an intense firefight, Roba attempted to flee, but is shot in the back by Riley. As Roba lay bleeding on the ground, he tells Riley how his parents were gunned down when he was 6, and that it taught him that the world is filled with billions of people, and 1 or 2 lives don't matter. He laughs and just says that he's one man. Riley agrees, says that he's one man who really needs to leave the world, and shoots him in the head. Riley, with his mission complete and his family avenged, leaves the now burning compound, only to be greeted by a man disembarking a helicopter. A man bearing the Task Force 141 symbol. A man by the name of Shepard. A man who would eventually end Riley's life, who by then had adopted the name Ghost. A name which Soap McTavish jokingly referenced in his journal by saying, "Ghost, what the hell kind of name is that?" in much the same manner that Price mocked Soap's name when they first met. In an interview for IGN, Robert Bowling was asked if there was a possibility that Ghost is still alive, and he stated, "Ghost isn't exactly dead, but you'll see what I mean soon." At the time, fans assumed it implied that Ghost survived Shepard's betrayal, despite his supposed corpse being lit on fire. But now we've come to realise he was foreboding Call of Duty Ghosts, the next game in the Modern Warfare canon, possibly starring Riley's son as the main protagonist. It's certainly a tragic end for a tragic hero, but at least now we fully understand Bowling's words. Simon Ghost Riley may be dead, but his legacy lives on. I hope you've enjoyed. Please subscribe, favourite, and post any requests you have in the comments. I'm Jack Morris from Man of 5 Films, and this was Game Talk.